What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? Made a few changes to the studio here, trying to fix a few things, so bear with me over the next day or two as I work everything out. Let's talk about what's going on in Terra Luna Classic. Yesterday, we got a significant burn from Binance, 375 million. And listen, I want it to be 3.75 billion, but a big burn is a big burn. Now he's got to figure out how USTC fits into this place and things like that. And then we have to recognize that there's something special that's starting to brew under the surface. Is it game changing? I like to think so. Is everybody going to agree with that? That's the part that you never know. That's a difficult thing. And remember, because I don't think that we have, and again, this is my opinion, because I don't think we have a centralized leadership role. I think that we are put in a position in which people just have to ultimately do their own research and discover it. And why do I have a problem with the validators? Remember, because the validators, they've been stopping the updates so that we don't have an official website. You know, all the little pieces. We only had an official website just, a few short days ago. So there's a crazy thing happening here, and it's not great. It's not great, but it's where we are. So now the question is, what can we do to fix it? And I want to thank you guys because you guys have been working diligently to fix it, and I'm going to show you why. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. And remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not qualified to give you that, but I am qualified to tell you that, I'm just kidding. So before we get started, terracasino.io, we're going to be giving away some more money. I told you that. Sign up. Give me your @ down below. We're gonna be drawing some new winners, giving away money. They're giving away. Look at these Euro giveaways that they're having just for the next couple of days, and then through August 17, 1.16 million. This is a crazy number. So make sure you sign up at terracasino.io today. Hey, you want to buy Believe's coin? Terraport.finance is where you go to get that. Go into the swap over here, and then change this right here to degen mode. Type in Believe. And then boom, there it is. Now, you might be asking yourself, like, why would I want to buy Believe token? Why would I want to have that in my wallet? Because you're awesome and only awesome people are allowed. By the way, if you try to buy the Believe coin over here on Terraport.finance and you're unable to do that, it's because you're a nerd, okay? And you are not part of the cool kids club. There's a real cool club on the other side of town where the real cool kids go to sit around and talk bad about other kids. If you don't know what that is, you don't know Chicago. Anyway, get yourself some Believe coin. Terraport.finance, that's the place you go to get it. Now, let's move on. No new discussions that are being held right now, which, listen, all we need to do is have a clear discussion about what is going on. I want to make it a public statement here that it is just driving me crazy that, what are we doing here? Oh, well, what we're going to do is we want to give everybody an STD. That drives me crazy, okay? This is really, like, in my brain, this is driving me crazy. So let me make a recommendation that we make it a universal Luna stable dollar, ULSD. I know that relates to something else, but that's a lot catchier than catching STD. I'm just saying, over the long term, I think it's a better option. Maybe LS instead of ST. Oh, I should make a t-shirt for that. Anyway, but generally speaking, guys, introducing a stablecoin into this environment, these are the moments that we're waiting for. Because remember, not only is this the situation, but then you've got yield farming that comes from stablecoins. You've got buying U.S. treasuries. You've got interest that you pile up on the stablecoin and the issuance of new stablecoin. And the money that's being made right there could be used to stabilize this entire platform and ecosystem. I encourage you to read this deeply and get an understanding of what's happening and why this is going to be a game changer. And don't forget that as a game changer, this will fundamentally alter and change some of the expectations of what we're doing in these ecosystems, because it's just going to, we're going to go from what we were before, which was trying to get USTC and Luna Classic repegged so that part would work and we would start to see burns. But the problem is we don't have a stable coin. USTC kind of had to be a stable coin with it. Well, if we do this in a three-way battle, if you will, and we have ULSD as the stable coin backer right there, and we focus on USTC burns and Luna Classic burns, and we incentivize that the stable coin, however we do this, the market module is only going to burn USTC, LUNC. Now, of course, if you sell your ULSD, that would be burned as well. Just to have clarity, that should be burned, and it should be minted when you mint new ones. So there will be a minting process for the LSD project, or STD at this point, but there would be a burn there. So because that's the way the minting and burning process works for the stable coins, generally speaking. They don't just sit around just to be used at some point later, and then new ones get minted, et cetera, et cetera. So, but remember also that USDT, Tether, and USDC, Circle, they make hundreds of millions of dollars every quarter with what they're doing. This is a phenomenal opportunity. So we're gonna be following this with bated breath, because this again is the fundamental paradigm shift that we've been looking for in this ecosystem. To shout out to Redline Drifter and to Rednix for starting this process, and maybe this is the thing that's going to carry us. As far as coin haul goes, we're up 3% on Terra, we're up 7% basically on Juris, but not a lot of breakout, anywhere. Again, we got our fingers crossed. We're hoping that we see a nice little price action kind of rip here, but fundamentally speaking, it's going to take a little bit more. And I know you don't want to hear that. I know a lot of people, but it does take a little bit more. Now, let's talk about why you guys are goated. All right. It is and this is not an attack. At this point, I don't care. It's not an attack anymore. But now you can see that number right there continues to dissipate and go down, 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 down. Could be passed by Lunc Live. Now, listen, Mr. Diamond Hands and I are not always going to agree on fundamental paths. We're not always going to agree on everything, but we agree on enough things that we can work together. There's never been a point where I've had a conversation with Mr. Diamond Hands and he felt it necessary to be an asshole to me and delete the chat afterwards. Now, just full disclosure, that did happen with somebody else who told me that because I don't say yes to everything that he says, we can't work together in any way. That's the method of, that is the problem with people. People are in their own bubble, and they are working against progress. And I'm not telling you that I am the man for progress. I'm not telling you that at all, because I'm a moron, okay? I just like talking to people. I just like being out here. I just like letting people know what I think. I mean, basically, I can't shut up. So, and that's the sum total of my value for anybody who was unclear. But it's been lately that this validator has been holding the chain down, that this validator has been holding the chain down, that this validator has been holding the chain down. And what has happened? You guys have stepped up, and I mean monumentally, and you are dunking on these people, losing billions of their stake, losing billions. This one lost 34 billion. Do you know why? Because it's clear that they are voting against you. You are the people that matter. This is about you. This is about technology and building on this chain, but most importantly, it's about doing what you think is the right thing, that you come to a consensus and that you agree with things that need to be done, even if they don't like it, okay? Now, take that one little tiny step further, because that's what we've always got to do. We've always got to take it like one tiny little step further, and that tiny little step forward is, guess what? You've recognized that Vegas is working for the betterment of the entire chain, more specifically you, the investor. And that really is the crux of, I think, in my opinion, by the way, because, it's easy for me to say that Happy Caddy Crypto is a bad actor. It's easy for me to say that Interstake One is a bad actor. It's easy for me to say that Interstellar Lounge is a bad actor because they're voting against things that I like. It's easy for me to say that, but that's not really true. So it's not that they're bad actors. In my opinion, it's that they disagree fundamentally with how we get there. It's like liberals versus conservatives. And it's basically party affiliation. If you're aligned with these parties over here, it is my opinion that you're trying to stop progress. If you're aligned with Vegas, it's that you want progress. But again, it's not the progress of the blockchain necessarily. My vote is progress for you. I want to see your bag pump, okay? So we have a fundamental disagreement about the most important pieces. And guys, I felt it was important to clarify why we are opposed. Okay, they want more decentralization. They want less leadership. They think that that's going to work. I keep telling you that this is a numbers game and that things like that matter in the realm of price action, and they have done a disservice to you in every possible way. We have never seen prices lower. We've never seen a lack of interest like we are right now. We've not seen that, and it is because of the work that they are doing or not doing, if you will. Now, and by the way, if you want to disagree with me, fine. Show me where I'm wrong. That's all I've ever asked, and I do this all the time. Show me where I'm wrong. Stop me when I'm telling lies, okay? That's all I'm saying. So now let's talk about price action. So nothing has fundamentally changed about me and where I think everything is going. However, it would have been a lot easier had we had people on the same page, whereas we could build off of this pump or build off of one of these pumps when this double top over here. If we could build off of these, and we just haven't been able to do that. So now the bar has shortened until we get a confirmed breakout above, which I do think is going to happen. We're going to have breakout. We're going to have big movement. Now, what is wrong with the market? Well, what's wrong with the market is Bitcoin, which, by the way, is this is what's right with the market too. Don't forget that. But Bitcoin has not run up to a level that makes it that makes it imperative for people to get into altcoins. And by the way, I don't think that number is until I think we get a mini altcoin season. I think we're going to get faked out one more time at 124, 125,000 when we go up to this range. So, and I think that's actually coming this month. Matter of fact, Standard Charter said that they believe that in the third quarter of 2025, Bitcoin's going to hit 135,000, and that by the end of the year, 200,000. So they've got a huge gamble and a huge bet on Bitcoin right now. So I think we're about to see something really impressive and explosive. And let's not forget, when we zoom out here just a tiny bit, we were so much higher just a little while back, $500 billion higher back in at the end of 2024. We're headed back into banana zone. Okay, so just for clarity here, June, July here, not real great. We didn't have a lot of run, and then all of a sudden we hit that bottom. We hit that bottom around August, and then boom, just an explosive move. If we do something similar in the same line, by the way, bottom over here in July, boom, explosive move. So July probably, if this is our bottom, now that's the question here. If this is our bottom at the end of June, maybe instead of in July, because this is a moving thing, okay? But if this was the end, then we're going to have an explosive. It is my estimation that this little circle right here, which this circle sucks, but 4.4 trillion is basically where I think we're headed next. I think we're going to have just a massive inflow of capital all over the place, and that's going to help risk asset, higher risk asset going to be Terra Luna Classic. Now we need some kind of development to seal the deal, if you will, and cause a reversal in sentiment, because here's what I'm going to tell you. Everybody loves a comeback story. We are all heroes in the Bad News Bears. We are all champions for the Bad News Bears. We all cheer for the Bad News Bears to finally get that win, to finally do that big thing. And guess what? We are the Bad News Bears. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up. It's a horrible team that ends up winning the big wins. Okay, they were the worst team ever, and boom, they turned it around. And that's a feel-good story. That's a comeback story. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody loves a comeback story. The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, for another description. Everybody loves that comeback sort of story, okay? So that's what we're witnessing, and that's why this is going to play out so spectacularly, and that's why I'm bullish about the move ahead. And the move ahead, in my opinion, is we're going to break up towards the top of this range. Now, this was the weekly. We get on the daily, and we look at the daily. We still have to break above the 200 MA. That is imperative, and then we have to start minting that thing way up into this range. Like, we need that to break to that upside and really show. But in order to do that, it's based on price movement, and we need to have enormous price movement. So, and by the way, just to give you full disclosure, I can see, based on this market cap, I could see a 3x back to a billion market cap with just the market module being React, without even Juris, without everything being put into place, which I don't think there's any real point for it until we get either that stablecoin or Juris, kind of until we get our operators into this realm operating. Then I don't know how much, but I think that market module is going to have a big bearing on what happens next. So, guys, here's what ultimately what I'm saying is, and I know I'm spacing a little bit today because I am amped up right now. I'm actually, and by the way, no caffeine or anything like that. I'm just actually excited about today. When I'm looking around Terra Luna Classic, I was inspired. And it's very rare, by the way, that I'm inspired by what I see. But other than what I think are a couple of bad actors in the Validator, I'm inspired. I'm encouraged. You guys have unbonded the Believe token, which is cool. I don't. It's not going to change my life. It's not, but it's fun, and it was proof that TerraPump.fun could work. We have 4 unbonded meme coins, and that means to me that we're going to have a lot more as we get retail re-entering the arena, and retail hasn't re-entered the arena, and I feel like I've discovered why. Watch my live today, and or go back and you'll see, because we are talking, by the way, if you haven't watched the live stream, go watch my live stream every morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll talk about Luna Classic every single day. If you guys show up, I'll show up. So, but to move forward, again, I'm in the zone. USTC. Again, I still got my bet on this one for a little bit more. I think I just want to see a little bit more pump out of it. It's up a little bit today. It's up more than Luna Classic on the day. So, I feel good about it. People are starting to think. I think that something is cooking there. I think people are starting to kind of feel it. And I think we also know that at this point we're about to get a rate cut, a substantial rate cut, and that people are pricing it in. Jerome Powell is under enormous pressure to make something happen. And by the way, when Congress passes this budget, it's going to add $5 trillion to the national debt, which means that they are going to turn the money printer on, which means that risk asset is going to start to moon. It's all lining up. So let's keep going. Price, by the way, volume went way down. Volume went a little bit up. So, we're still not in that zone, but let's talk about a few different things. C Invest thinks that we are in an Elliott wave for a breakdown or a descending wedge with a 5-point Elliott surge breakdown. That's 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. I don't know what's. You know what? It signifies the possibility of a breakout. I've told you that I think we're about to break out. I guess what he's doing is he's saying the same thing, but he's just calling it a numbers game with the data points. So he believes that there's a breakout coming. I do too. Mehran as well is looking at the same data, and he's seeing that Fibonacci, and he's looking at it from a Fibonacci, and what he is seeing is a move. And by the way, I don't know if that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because the when you're talking Fibonacci, that range right there, that should have looked more like this. You know what I mean? Like there's not going to be a break above your buy zone. And that buy zone is between 0.5 and 0.618, maybe down to 0.786. So, basically what I'm saying is anywhere in this range right here, there's going to be some resistance. So bounce, bounce, bounce with me, baby. So that's the only thing that, the only problem I would have with that. Now, for Leonardo, guys, you're going to have to read through this. I don't have time to go through it, but Clay 8 token airdrop for Lunc scheduled for July 8th. On July 7th, the bridging wallet closes for good. There's a bunch going on here. If you're involved with Clay, then, check it out. I don't really follow it too much, but I do check Leonardo on the daily just to see if there's anything important that I need to run by you, and knowing that you need to get your money off. I think we've already done that. So 521 million burned, not huge. Not good on the day either, but it's as good as or whatever as the days previously. Really looking for another surprising set of burns though from US. So there's your very long and spazzy update. Again, I'm moving stuff around. I'm feeling good today, so that's on you, boo boo. Anyway, this is not financial advice.